Hello, I'm going to break down and demonstrate a couple of my favorite leg stretches. I will use the Iyengar chair. Again, you don't really need the Iyengar chair. You can use any other chair, sofa. I will modify the variations as well using the blocks. In case you don't have blocks, you can use books that are the same height. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt that you have at home, and you need a wall. You can use a mat, of course. If you don't have it, no excuses. Just use a blanket or anything else that's soft cushion for your knees. If you have a bolster, great. If you don't have a bolster, just grab a pillow or a piece of a sofa that's really cushiony, soft, that you can use to elevate the hips. We're gonna start standing. And now, the most important thing when we start to do stretches and we start to work on the hamstring, remember you have 3 hamstrings. Now, often what happens when we start to stretch and lengthen the hamstrings, a lot of people, due to tightness, round the back. If you're rounding your back, in that case, I highly suggest rather bend your knees, but come out of the lower back. So send the sitting bones up and back and release the sides of the sacrum back towards the sitting bones, so you're not tearing the attachment of the hamstring. But again, avoid pushing the leg straight if this is where the body collapses, because now all you're doing, putting strain into your lower back, which most likely you're doing throughout the entire day. So let's get going using the chair, a few variations here. You're gonna flip the chair around like this. Once you push your foot into it, it might make a sound, so be like that. You're gonna push it in. Keep the foot like this up, have the left foot closer in, and then from here, notice my left leg. Often what we do, the knee is sleeping, the leg is completely collapsed. Activate it, lift the kneecap, keep it engaged. Keep the hands in here, draw the chest and the sternum forward, keep lengthening the sides of the waist, the front, and the back of the body equally, and play with it here. Once it gets easier, maybe you drop the hands a little bit lower. Once that's easier, drop anywhere you can. Now, once you're the furthest you can, just play with moving a little bit in and out with it, which is going to take you further deeper into stretching the calf and the entire back of the hamstring. So for the sake of this video, I'm not going to hold the stretches for too long, but I highly suggest to hold each stretch for at least a minute, if not 2. Remember, the body opens up layer by layer. So take your time, breathe into the stretch and create space using your breath. Long and deep inhales and exhales. And now we're going to switch to the other side. But please, if you're really tight, stay longer. And again, remember, if you're in a really tight body tempo, it's perfectly okay. We all have to start somewhere. Stay higher up with the arms. Again, don't go low and do this. Rather, come higher up. Draw the chest forward. Keep lifting the back of the hamstring up, releasing the sides of the sacrum back. So again, you don't want to overly arch. You're still scooping the belly in and up to protect the lower back and basically lifting the front hip bones up as you do so. Let's do the left leg in. Same thing, engage both legs. Draw the chest and the sternum forward. Play with it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe drop a little bit lower based on your body. Move in and out with it. And again, if you're higher up, you can still do the same thing. Just reach a little bit forward. Reach a little bit forward. So keep pushing the weight into the ball of that front leg. Keep pushing the weight forward, 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 trying to get your left hip right over your left heel. And if you can, if you want to, add the heat on both. Step both feet in. Have to sneak a little bit closer with the wall. I'm too close. And then just fold it in here for a little deeper hamstring stretch for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And a lot of it, try not to hit your head into the wall. Now I'm going to turn the chair around and we're going to do the same stretch using the block. This could be basically any sofa you have at home, a wall, ever. You can use like this, a kitchen counter, and then having the heel up in here and using the kitchen counter as an elevation to support your body. So I'm gonna demonstrate sideways in here. Placing the block in front. Again, if you don't have a block, use a bolster. Just elevate the foot up. We'll make it a little bit easier with the bolster. If you don't have a bolster, roll the towel up. Just please, no excuses, just do it. Do the work. I hear a lot of people always complaining, I wish I was flexible, I wish I was flexible. Stop wishing for things and start doing the work. If you really do these stretches every day, I can guarantee you, in 2 weeks, a month, you will start to feel the difference within your body tempo. So think of the chewing gum. If you're watching a TV and you have a chewing gum, you get it out of your mouth and you're playing with it a little bit, stretching it out. If you do it patiently, slowly while watching TV for a while, most likely you're going to stretch it really, really wide. If you go fast, it's going to snap in the middle or somewhere on the sides. It's the same thing with your body. It opens up layer by layer. So please, 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 stop going too fast, too soon, expecting results overnight. Really, nothing happens like that. Consistency, repetition, and be patient with your body. Gently stay within your body tempo. Feel the sensations, but again, don't go too far. So find that thin limit. Use the poses, these, to open up your body and understand it, rather than breaking your body using force to get into a specific asana. Being able to do splits, wrap your legs behind your head and all that, none of that matters, nor is gonna make you a happier person. So really work your way towards it and see what happens. So back to what we were doing. You have the block, same stretch that we did with the chair. Now we're just using the block. You can use a bolster, blanket, whatever else. Hands here, engage this leg, shift the weight a little bit forward and back again. Don't do this, don't collapse in here, don't round if you're tight. Rather, bend both knees, untuck the pelvis, untuck, untuck. Send the pubic bone and the tailbone equally back. So instead of doing what we're standing, this tucking under, do the opposite, open. But again, this is overly arching the back. Dancers often do this, and this is too much tucking. Find neutral, while the pubic bone and the tailbone are equally descending down towards the earth, and when you're bending forward, you want them equally descending back. So from here, find a neutral with the pelvis, and play with going forward and back. If it's too easy, dropping the elbows down, moving in and out a little bit with it. And then, of course, switch, always even up the sides. You will notice that one side is always tighter than the other, and that's perfectly okay. For many of us, it's the left side, but again, some of us are left-sided, and then it's the right leg. It doesn't matter, just find the tighter one, and then work with the tighter end a little bit longer. Give it just a little bit more love, and a little bit more patience. And before you know it, you'll find the balance. You can float both. Again, minimize going too far back. So the idea is to get those hips up and over your heels. And then from here, if it's still easy, descend. If you don't need the chair, you can have the fingertips down, reaching forward, 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 and folding your mat, just to get a little deeper stretch in here. These are for those that are looking for a little extra sensations. If you're tight, just stay higher up with an elevation. Now, moving on, we're gonna break down Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So using the chair in here, you're gonna step pretty wide based on your height. So 2 to 3 feet apart. Turn the right leg out from the hip socket, slide the left heel a little bit back, think heel to arch alignment. You're gonna place your right hand onto the chair from here. Notice how often we take this hip all the way out. Bend the outer left hip in towards the midline. So don't stick the butt out, rather hug it all the way in. Lengthen the right side of the waist, find length along the left side of the waist, and reach the left arm up. Again, notice my knees. If you can let them hang and collapse, don't do that. Lift, engage the legs. So lift the kneecaps, keep it active. Even lifting the arch of the foot, but I'm not gonna get into these details yet. There's a lot going on. Try to breathe here for a few. If you're comfortable, drop the elbow down. A couple of deep inhales and exhales here. Dog, can you get out of the frame? Sorry, guys. Slower. Get the strap. Come on. Sorry. If you're really open again, you can just use the block here on the side of the foot and just place your hand onto the block as a support. If you're capable of going deeper, maybe even place the hand all the way down. Or how we do it in Ashtanga, Ashtangi style. Demonstrate it here. If you're very open, collect the big toe, left arm up, hug it in, lengthen. Keep lengthening the left and the right side of the waist equally. External rotation on the upper right leg, keeping both legs active. Again, if you have any issues going on with your neck, just keep the gaze neutral. Couple of deep inhales and exhales here, and then rise up. And we're gonna do the same journey on the left side. Starting from neutral, turn the left leg out from the hip socket. Bring your left hand onto the chair, keeping both legs active. Engage the kneecaps, lift. Notice if you're pushing too far back, hug the hip in and in. You don't have to open all the way out to the side. The outer front hip bone will move a little bit forward, and that's perfectly okay. Reach the arm up, take a couple of deep inhales and exhales here. If you're comfortable, drop a little bit further. If you want to release the hand down onto the ground or onto the block, that's perfectly fine. If you want to collect the big toe, do that. But I'm assuming that this is as well breaking down for people that are usually much tighter. So again, stick to the elevation. Please stick to the elevation. Notice if in order to go down to the ground, this is what's happening, the whole body is collapsing. You're really better off elevate the arm as much as you need. Find that length and space. So again, instead of, you know what often people I see doing, trying to get into that big toe, so I'm collapsing towards the front, you're better off lifting the hand up, open, create that space instead of dropping forward. It's not about grabbing that big toe. Seriously, it's not. There's nothing magical that happens if you grab the big toe. And then from here, up and just create space and send the energy equally into all directions. Moving into Pavarita Trikonasana, twisting triangle. So now you're gonna step right in front of the chair. Step your right leg back. Keep both front hip bones facing the chair and forward. You're gonna move your front hip bones. Imagine you have two lights moving forward. Let these lights move back equally and bring your hands into the chair. Again, notice here, for some, this is already really tight and intense, and you'll feel a deeper hamstring stretch. Stay here. Notice if you're really tight and the body's still doing this, make a higher elevation. Go higher, I don't care. Build up a temple all the way up, but find that length. Come out of the lower back. And then from here, just work it a little bit forward and back. Push the weight into that front leg. Push down like you're trying to push the floor down. Keep the leg active and resist down. When this gets easier, get rid of one block. When that's easier, get rid of another one. If that's too easy, drop both elbows down, and again, shifting a little bit forward and back as you move a little bit deeper to the back of your left leg, the hamstring. Now, when this is a little bit easier, you're gonna keep the right hand down and start your little twisting here. Notice as well, when we're twisting often, the hips move to the side. Minimize that, keep shaving, so the outer left crease is moving back. Keep the sacrum neutral. So almost think like you're trying to balance the block on top of the sacrum. If you go too far forward, most likely it's gonna spill. Think of a cup of tea. The block is obviously not spilling exactly, but it's gonna fall. So keep shaving the outer crease of the left hip back and try to revolve, opening the upper thoracic, opening the chest in here. And that's easy. Drop a little bit lower as you're twisting here for a few deep inhales and exhales. If you wanna go a little bit deeper, again, feel free to drop your hand. You can use the block on the inside and twist. If you're very up for a challenge, then maybe take it on the outside and do the same thing in here, open. If you have a deeper practice, this is Ashtanga as well, take the hand all the way on the outside, take the outer crease back, keep lengthening the left side of the waist, keep the sacrum neutral, and then revolve from here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sorry, moving obviously with my breath always for 5. Hello, you trouble, stop. Then slowly switch, right leg forward, left leg back. Same thing in here. Lift the kneecaps, just move a little bit forward and back, finding a little stretch in here. Again, if you need to elevate the hands higher up. If this is easy, drop the elbows a little bit lower down. Hey, crazy. Keep shifting. I got rid of me, but ouch, hey, trouble, stop. Sorry. Mimi, come help me. Dog is attacking me. Sorry, guys. That's my dog. She usually gets the cat away from the man. Now from here, get back to teaching. I'm gonna focus. Now from here, hands flat, moving into the twist. Reach the right arm up, open the thoracic again. Notice how the hips wanna cheat to the side. Keep shaving the outer crease back. Keep scooping the abdomen in, lengthening the sides of the sacrum, and find a twist here for a few. If that's easy, of course, go a little bit lower. And if that's easy, and of course, feel free to take the left hand lower down onto the block on the inside for the start, just to find a little stability. Then feel free to challenge yourself to move it on the outside. And again, work your way towards it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bringing it back to the center. Step the left leg forward and come all the way up to standing. We're going to move a tiny bit into the side leg. You're going to stand sideways from the chair. Step the right foot on top and then gently try to bring the fingertips here towards the chair. You'll feel a little stretch on the inside. If that's not deep enough, reach towards the ground. And again, you can use the block and reach towards the block. Keep lengthening from the inner growing to the inner knee. Contracting from the outer knee towards the buttocks, and just fold forward a little bit here. And maybe place the right hand on top. Where's my savior? Hey, Tushkita, get the trouble. Keep the right hand down. Maybe reach the left arm up. Then if you want to go further and a little bit deeper, wrap the left hand around, maybe the right one around in here. Keep twisting and opening. Maybe find a little stability in here. If you're practicing bird of paradise, maybe float it up, reaching the leg up. Again, no attachment to this crazy circus stuff. Just stick to this one. This is more than enough sensations and a deep stretch. And then we're going to do the other side. Same thing. Open to the side, reach a little bit down. Try to find the blocks in here. Maybe fold all the way down. Maybe bring the hand onto the chair, right arm up, find it here for a little bit. Maybe drop the left elbow down, move further back, elevate the left toes. Maybe you just work here to find the stability, bring it back down. Or if you want to challenge yourself, we're doing a little bird of paradise. It's up to you, but again, don't get attached to any of these fancy poses, just work your way. Few more with the chair being in this position. Add the block in here. You can push into it. Hey, buddy. Now, take your right foot and push it into the block. Now, since my chair has a little hole, it's going through it. So I'm going to place the block in here and place the other block right in front of it so I can have a little bit of firmness in here. And then push the foot in. So we're going a little bit deeper. Again, reaching to the sides of the chair. Reach the sternum forward. Again, avoid this whole rounding situation. Walk the hands higher up onto the wall if needed. And just work your way here for 5, 4, 3, 2. And as I said, please hold it for a minute, 2 or even 3 if you need to. Left hand maybe down. Reach the right arm up. Keep shading the outer crease of the right hip down. And slowly, we're going to switch to the other side. Push the left leg in. Yeah. Keep breathing for 5. Again, if you're really tight, elevate the hands higher up. Walk them up the wall. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're not collapsing in here. Micro bend the knees if needed. Lengthen. Find neutral in the pelvis. And then reach forward from here. 5. Maybe leave the right hand down. And then open a little bit for a twist. Again, notice that the hip wants to come up. Make sure that you're shading the left crease of the hip down, down, down. And the arm up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly down. And we'll take it out. Hi, precious. Hi. Hi. You joined the little stretch. I'm going to show you a dog. Sorry, guys. Now, we're going to move a little bit further. You're going to flip the chair around again. And notice this next little part, you can do it just using the blocks. You don't even need this chair. Love you. she's not a big fan of this chair. Again, it's gonna make a sound when you push into it. And if it's too harsh with the edge of the chair, you can always use a little towel blanket here just to support the back of the heel. You're gonna press the right foot into it, have the left knee down, then gently from here. Start by lifting actually the back knee off the ground and open the foot to the side. So let's do a little Trikonasana. Push here a little bit, keep finding length and space in here. Maybe bring the right hand to the center, open again. So these are all same variations, bunch of Utthita Trikonasana. If you open, go a little bit further down. Couple of deep inhales and exhales. You can even move into Virabhadrasana 2 in here. Maybe stretch the left hand up and over the ear. If you're feeling strong, stretch both hands. Breathe for a couple of deep inhales and exhales in here. In, out, and slowly come out. Then square the hips again. Place the left knee down. And from here, just let the hips melt forward. Keep melting forward. Now we're moving a little bit deeper into the psoas. Keep melting to the front and add a little pulses for 3, 2, 1. Maybe as well. Keep your left hand holding the chair. Reach with the right one back. Scoop the foot in. If you want to go a little bit deeper, if you're feeling enough sensations, just stay where you're at. Now again, we're going to shift the hips back. Keep your left hip right over your left knee. Bring this leg straight and reach the heart forward. Maybe grab further on the sides of the chair. Draw the heart forward. Pull the chair towards you, reach the heart forward. Push the foot into the chair. Keep reaching the heart forward and keep pulling the chair towards you. And same journey on the other side. Left leg up in here. Pick the knee off the ground. Find Utthita Trikonasana in here. Open for a few deep inhales and exhales. Maybe drop the left hand down. Maybe bend the front knee. Find a little further distance away. Take the right hand up and over. Maybe extend the left arm too. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly back. Square the hips towards the front. Drop the right knee down and sink with the hips forward. Keep sinking here for a few. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sorry, I'm counting faster because I'm trying to keep this video short, but I guess I just can't do that. Hug the left foot in, scoop it a little bit in for a few. If you can, again, if you're feeling deep enough sensations on the soles, just stay here. You don't have to move anywhere further. Shift the hips back, keeping the right hip right over the right knee. Reach the heart forward. Again, feel tight. The body wants to do this. Bend your knee, untuck the pelvis, reach the sternum forward, and then from here, work your way in. Feel free to walk the hands further if you want to go deeper. Push the foot into the chair, pull the chair towards you. Push the foot into the chair, pull the chair towards you. 3, 2, and 1. Now, these stretches as well, you can do them using the block. I'll move the chair right now to the side. You can just place one block and then the other one like this, and then step the foot like this on top of it. So you get the same pretty much work that we just did with the chair, using the blocks in here. And then again, you can use the sofa, other 2 chairs on the sides to support your hands to find a little bit more stability, and do the same thing here, working with the hamstring, with the foot a little elevated. So the same idea as a chair, you're just basically just placing the blocks like this. And if they're wooden blocks, you'll feel more stable. If they're foam blocks, you will still find stability. Just make sure that they're not on a wooden surface because they will slide. If you place them on the mat, they will definitely find the grip. Now, we're gonna do similar approach to what we did with the chair, using the wall again, going deeper into the psoas and a little bit further into the hamstring. You're gonna slide your right knee like this up the wall and untuck the toes. If you're really, really tight, go a little bit further away from the wall. So if you're really, really tight, do not push your knee all the way in. Give yourself space. If you need, add a little bit more of a cushion for your knee so you have a tiny bit more support and it's a little bit softer. Especially if you're not as open, you won't be able to place the weight a little bit at the front of the knee. So if you're putting it right on the patella, it will hurt. I highly suggest using 2 blankets, giving yourself a little bit more cushion. So don't push in, just stay in here if you're tight. Walk the hands to the same side as the foot that you just lifted up and step your left leg forward. And then try to bring your hands like this to the sides. From here, you're just gonna use the blocks, or you can use the chairs to just elevate the body a little bit up. For many, this is already a lot of sensation. If you can go further, then feel free to move a little bit more back, leaning into the wall. If you're really bendy, then feel free to go with the knee all the way into the wall. And from here, come up. Keep pushing with the left heel into the earth and push the floor forward. So almost like you're trying to slide the mat towards the front. Press the left heel into the earth, resist forward. Keep lifting. Notice another thing. This is where we collapse often. Lift the front hip bones up, up, up. So you start to get into the psoas in here. Maybe even try to lean against the wall, reach the arms up. Keep releasing the tailbone. Allow the tailbone to get heavy and melt down. Lift the front hip bones up. Take a couple of deep inhales and exhales in here. Again, please hold the stretches for longer. I am trying to move a tiny bit faster just so I can keep this video shorter, which is not my stronger end. Sorry. All right, now from here, using the blocks, you can sink, walk the left leg forward, sink a little bit more forward in here. Keep sinking forward, 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 forward to get a little deeper stretch. Then maybe from here, scoop the foot in or walk the hands to the side. Maybe reach one arm up towards the wall, release it down, switch with the opposite, release it down. If you're working on going a little bit deeper, just make sure that you open up the thoracic and that you're open with back bends. Then maybe slide both hands down, 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 reaching towards the foot. No attachment if you grab the foot or not. Maybe you take the head in and out. Again, from here, shift the hips back, bring the front leg straight for a little hamstring stretch in here. Flex the foot as well so it's not collapsed. If you want to go further for some, stack one block, then the other here. Start to slide the left leg forward and find the support in here. So what often happens when people move into splits, they collapse all the way to the side. Keep this leg neutral. Keep rolling the inner thigh out. Inner thigh rolls up towards the sky. Scissor the inner legs together. When this gets easier, one block down, sink a little bit lower. As that gets easier, you'll be able to sink all the way down. But again, notice when you're tight, the body wants to fall in here. Square it, square it, square it. Keep lifting the chest, keep lifting the chest, and work it here. Same approach. If you want to reach for the foot, maybe. My shoulder is much tighter today. Square the chest towards the front. Maybe reaching both hands back. No attachment to that at all. And we're going to move to the other side. Now for some, the transition can be a little bit challenging. That's why I'm breaking down the way in. And you're probably not going to go too far if you're too tight. Left knee, again, don't go too close in. Give yourself a little bit space. You can have the toes tucked under to help you. If you want to get a nice little front of the ankle stretch, then point it. Walk the hands to the same side as the leg. Step the right leg forward and then walk it back. Now again, use your blocks for elevation and support. Notice what often happens due to tightening. The hip wants to go up, up, up. I want you to focus on releasing it down. So don't flush out, release the crease down to the ground. Move the blocks further back. Keep pressing the right heel into the earth, pushing the floor forward. Imagine I have blocks, I'm just moving them so you guys can see anatomically exactly what moves in the body. Notice that this hip is not moving up, it's sinking down, down, down. So if you have a strap or a sandbag, which we use a lot in the Iyengar studio, I love it, you're gonna place it right here, draw down, down. So what I'm doing right now, I'm pulling the outer crease of my outer right hip down to the ground to find neutral. Again, maybe reach the arms up to even up the stretch. Notice if you're going too far into an arch, lean into the wall. Lift the front hip bones up, allow the tailbone to get heavy and descend all the way down. Keep scooping the abdomen in and up. Keep releasing the outer crease, down, down, down. And then from here, maybe walk the foot a little bit forward, sink further forward. Using the blocks in here. Keep sinking, finding a little bit deeper stretch right now along the front left hip flexor, the psoas. Maybe reach the right arm back. And then forward, left one, back. If you're comfortable, you'll reach with both. This is where the Iyengar rope wall comes handy because you can grab the straps and then slowly walk your hands down, 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 down towards the foot. Back up. Shift the hips back. Bring the legs straight again. Notice that the hip is coming up. Shave the crease down. So imagine you still have that strap and you're pulling down, down, down. Keep shaving the outer crease down to the ground. Notice if you're moving too far forward, draw it in. So level both sides of the sacrum, and that will take you further and deeper into the hamstring. Again, work your way down. If you need to, using 2 blocks, slide a little bit forward. Find the release on the sitting bone. Keep squaring the hips, keep squaring the hips, keep squaring the hips, and keep lifting the front hip bones up, up, up. When that gets easier, maybe you go a little bit low. And again, just know that it's not going to happen in one session. So you might have to actually wait for about a few months doing this every day using the block, maybe even half a year or a year before the body really opens up to go into full splits safely. So really patience, patience, patience. And again, no, being able to do splits doesn't absolutely matter. Maybe even further, just to even up the sides in here. Keep lifting the front hip bones up. Slow down. Now, same these stretches. I'm going to do quick last one here with the chair, and then next time I'm going to break down a lot of restorative lying down stretches for legs without using any props. Sorry for the noise. Now from here, same approach. Use a little cushion for the knee if you need to as a support. Here. Don't go too close, give yourself space if needed. Step in one leg forward. Again, use the blocks in here. Finding a little stretch in here. You can melt forward with it. This is another great way you can just grab towards the back of the chair here to find space. Notice that the shoulder heads are creeping forward, roll them up and back. So then creep forward, roll them up and back. And maybe we'll reach with the hands back, back, back. Try to collect the back of the chair. Keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Moving towards the foot or not, it absolutely doesn't matter. Then same thing, a little hamstring stretch can be added in here. So the other side. Same. Maybe reach towards the back, open the chest and the sternum, roll the shoulder heads up and back. That's why it's better if you have sides to hold like this with thumbs up, because that immediately will open and roll the shoulder heads open. Last stretch that I'm going to add in for today. As you guys can see, I'm not really good at stopping. Use a little elevation if you need to for the seated position. And sitting like this with both feet around the bolster, place the booty down. If this is still uncomfortable, add a little bit, 1 block, 2, or add more lift and then sit back. So you find a little bit more space. So lift the hips as much as you need, especially if you notice that when you sit down like this in Virasana, that you're collapsing into the lower back. And definitely make sure you elevate. Now you can do this stretch sitting in this position, or you can do it just gently sitting like this in a comfortable cross-leg position. Just for the view, I'm gonna have to do it sideways, just so you can guys actually see the movement of the leg. But again, you can sit with this knee bent to the side and just elevate this leg a little bit higher up. Move further out for the stretching here. I'm gonna have to do this variation. Elevate the hips as much as you need to. Have just the sitting bones supported. Step the right leg forward. Maybe even add a little spinal twist. Maybe twist to the other side and place the foot on top. Give it a little support. Further back too. Use the strap in here. Make sure you're coming out of the lower back. So again, don't collapse in order to grab the foot. Being able to grab the foot, it's not going to make anything better in here. You're actually just collapsing. So really make sure that you can actually create space and length lift. If that means sliding your hands further down on the strap, slide them as far as you need to. Just make sure that you can lift up, and then from here, keeping the pelvis neutral, lead with the heart a little bit more forward. Allow the sitting bones, the tailbone, and the pubic bone to get heavy and melt down. And if you're moving a little bit from the hips, initiating the movement, tailbone and the pubic bone equally move back. A little stretching in here. Maybe you can grab the outer edge of the foot in here, twist a little bit. You can use the block here for the twist, or onto the bolster. You can grab the outer edge of the foot, great, no attachment to that. And let's do the other side quickly. Same thing. Grab the sides, reach a little bit forward. And notice with the foot, you don't want to completely flex it, and you don't want to completely point it. So plantar flexion, you want to have pointed and flexed at the same time. So as I'm pointing the foot forward, pushing through the balls, through the mound of the big toe forward and the mound of the little toe forward, I'm at the same time pulling it back. So I'm activating the front and the back of the leg. Reach, reach, reach. That's too much information. Just stick to the little stretch at the beginning again. Using the strap. Give yourself as much space as you need to here. Breathing for a couple of deep inhales and exhales. And maybe work your way into a little twist. And make it easier, maybe here. So remember, even when you're sitting, watching TV, you can add a bunch of stretches, your little kind of hangout time. There's no excuses. If you're sitting on one chair on the sofa, maybe sit down off the sofa, and you can add one foot like this on top of the sofa for a little stretch. Watching it here, moving a little bit forward, just to create a little bit space, especially if you spend majority of your day actually sitting. And I'm gonna wrap it in here because I actually can keep going. But this is it for today. Please try to do it, and I will definitely do my best to break down a few more, bunch more actually, videos with tons of stretches using the props and without the props.